Hello friends and family, and welcome back to the final day of the 2023 LWS Open at Idlewild, presented by Dynamic Dis and The Natty. Coverage brought to you by Run Productions.
We're here for the last day in Burlington, Kentucky. I am Raven Klein.
And I'm Holly Finley.
We had a gorgeous day today following our little weather mishap yesterday, and I'm excited to see how this card will play the course.
Yes, the FPO chase card, we had little to no wind, ideal conditions, although it was rather hot, I'd say about 88 to 92 degrees while we were playing.
Yeah, and very humid. I mean, I know I started in my sunglasses and had to take them off because they were fogging up. We'll get the card started here with Madison Walker. So she's still putting really nice. It's great to see her up here. She was first in C1 regulation. Following her, we have Sarah Hokom. She's fifth in a couple stats here, including her scramble at 50%, and I know her sidearm is helping a lot with that.
Next up, Ohn Scoggins, fourth in parked percentage at 11%. Rounding out the card, Holyn Handley, third in scramble at 57%.
We are going to see a lot of forehands today.
Let's get it rolling. 638-foot par 4 to start you off. Opie on the left and right. That continues all the way around behind the basket. Off the tee, you're hoping to throw between 330 and 430, leaving you with a couple 100-foot upshot into the green to have a look at a birdie 3. I see a lot of players try to get max distance off the tee and sometimes pull their shots over to the right side, resulting in a more difficult upshot. I prefer to land in the middle.
That's a good choice.
From Pensacola, Florida, Madison Walker.
Madison Walker was leading the event after day one. Here on the final day, she finds herself on the chase card.
At first out of the hand looked a little bit high, but she is plenty safe in the middle of the fairway.
Sarah Hokom.
Sarah Hokom won the World Championships in Charlotte playing very wooded courses, so I always expect to see her do well at a course like this. She is a forehand off the tee and lands over on the right side.
The right side definitely leaves your second shot to be a forehand, so she's not worried.
Ohn pulls hers over to the right side, but it works its way back. It doesn't quite get to the middle. She's kind of over there where Sarah is.
Rounding out our 935 card from Grapevine, Texas, Holyn Handley.
Holyn with a beautiful shot. She's getting a lot of distance here. Oh, a little more right than I thought, but fights through the tree. Wow. That was a great flight.
First up, we have Sarah Hokom approaching the green with a forehand from about 285.
A little turnover, a little flex line there for Sarah. Makes it under the tree, and she'll have an open look at the basket.
Scoggins uses a Halo Leopard 3. She's in the circle, putting for birdie.
Madison in position on the left for just a hyzer approach, just has to fight past the tree. Looks like she might have gotten caught up a little bit on the edge.
Holyn with a standstill from about 220. She puts it right inside the whisker. That's going to be a 28-foot birdie putt for her. Proposal putt from Madison Walker for the birdie.
Leaves it low and left. That is a tough putt to get. Not necessarily how you want to start your round. And Holyn leaving it low on her birdie putt. She definitely wanted to get that approach closer.
Ohn Scoggins in for the birdie from 28 feet with her new Millennium test putters. She said they're a lot like JK AVRs. And Hokom in for the birdie. I just love her gentle putt. It just floats and dies right in the basket.
It really does. It's like the exact opposite of your putt.
Madison over the nubs for par. Exactly.
And Holyn putt for her par.
Two birdies, two pars.
Hole 2, par 4, 509 feet. Left side is all OB on that outskirts of the tree line, so you want to either throw a forehand or a backhand turnover shot that gets you to hopefully the top of this hill that you're flying over right now. A second shot goes over the water, and you want it to land a little bit softer as this green slopes down away from the basket. So if you come in too hot, you might skip OB.
Hokom up first, forehand off the tee, a lower line. Hits a tree, but makes it to the more common landing area. Identical shot from Ohn. A little more aggressive on the flex back. And she's landed just where the hill starts to go up a bit. That could be a tricky run up. I have to see how she manages that.
Looking like a nice shot from Madison.
And Walker
Oh, a
said
beautiful shot from Madison.
she's good at both, but she likes the backhand to get maximum distance off the tee.
I agree. I think unless you have obviously these ladies do have it, but the control with the forehand to really push, I just really like the backhand better. Although Holyn getting some good distance.
And from here, Sarah is looking to get across, which is about...
Oh, that's low.
Oh no, she threw it into the bush out of bounds. I was going to say from there it's about 250, slightly uphill. And from where Ohn is, it's about 230, maybe 250. Oh, that's aggressive on the finish. And that's out of bounds. Just like Raven said in the whole description, coming in too hot and you might find yourself OB.
I find the better play to be throw something almost a little bit flatter toward that right side of the basket. There's a tree you can use as your target and just let it float in with the hillside.
Holyn's standstill approach is safe, and Madison Walker from 200 with a standstill putter. And she is also out of bounds after such an amazing drive. That's just a heartbreaker. Sarah Hokom is utilizing the rule where when you go out of bounds, you can walk it back along the line of play between your lie and the basket. So she's doing that so she doesn't have to be pinched up against that bush that she just threw into. Now she's up there putting for a bogey save.
Ohn with a putt here to save par. Good make from Ohn. And she got her disc back.
I like how they left the grass right along the edge, really tall and thick. So you might be out of bounds, but at least you didn't lose your equipment.
Yeah.
And Madison unable to get the par save putt in the basket, and it rolls OB again. Man, that's a tough one to swallow. Oh, hits the band. At least she's smiling it off.
Sometimes that's all you can do.
Holyn in for the birdie. Well played. Forehand off the tee, standstill upshot. 18-foot birdie putt.
And Sarah grabbing her bogey. Madison will tap in a triple there after the best drive on the card.
It's too early for a triple. I'm sorry,
Well, now it's
Madison.
done. It's out of the way. No more of that.
We're on to better things.
Yes.
Katrina Allen! Maria Oliva! She's done it. Kristen Tatar.
Sai Ananda. Stacy Saladian.
Champion Open at Austin.
Paige Pierce.
Welcome back. Hole 3, a par 4, 656 feet, a new position for us as of last year. You can throw your tee shot similar to the old pin position, but to cut off some distance, if you can get a right turn, that's more beneficial. Your second shot can go down the main fairway here or between the two trees. One of them is a mando tree under those limbs, but I find that one to be a bit risky. Your third shot hopefully getting up here inside the circle, giving you a par putt. We have yet to see any birdies on this hole all weekend. Holyn Handley up first.
Ooh. Holyn releasing that sidearm a little bit high and catching one of the last branches. Ohn going with a much lower sidearm through the gap into a nice spot.
She makes it about 330 off the tee. Hokom pulls hers a bit more left. I don't know if that's an intended route, but it's safe nevertheless.
She'll have a straighter approach to the basket.
A little bit longer though. And Madison backhand
gets
off
sneaky?
the tee. Pulls it
Oh, wow.
through the corner, and she's safe up there where Ohn is.
I know we're going to see a lot of sidearms on this card, but this is another hole where I like the backhand better.
I do too. Holyn, second shot, standstill forehand. Turnover going towards the old pin position, and she has gone out of bounds deep into the road on the backside.
That just seems like a slight miscalculation for Holyn.
Yeah.
Not an error you see from her often.
And here's the other play I mentioned, going between the trees, under the limbs. It's a shorter distance to the basket, but it's a little riskier and a little less space to work with.
Sarah just taking the main fairway, leaving herself with enough space that it's a little bit easier to clear that last bit of tall grass.
Ohn forehand upshot gets caught up on that limb. I mentioned that a lot of people try to throw underneath. This is Holyn's fourth shot, and she throws it low right into the dang grass. Almost said a dirty word there.
Well, you did kind of say a dirt word.
Oh, Raven.
I'm sorry. Not my best.
I mean, that was pretty good. Ohn parks her upshot, which we are very accustomed to seeing.
With Holyn's, last shot, it can be really tough when you stand still and you're on the slope of a hill because you think that you've corrected, but just your body will naturally follow that angle sometimes.
Hokom's third shot, looking to get it as close as possible.
I really would have been good if she threw it in.
Do you like landing on the high side or the low side with an uphill putt?
I like landing on the low side.
Me too.
With an uphill putt.
Me too.
It gives me a little more confidence that I'm like, even though there is no backboard, I feel like there is.
Right. And Walker is letting the previous hole take over her emotions. So she's trying to smile through it, but you can tell it's kind of working her a bit. Holyn's in for a double bogey after going OB on her second upshot.
Hokom with that downhill putt makes it look easy to get her par. Ohn with a par. And Madison with a bogey. We still did not see a birdie on this hole today.
All weekend, not a single birdie. It's got to be.
I tried.
I mean, you were close
I
today.
tried so hard to, and Jess almost threw it in for birdie. It was. Anyway, next year, hole 4, par 5, 722 feet. Most players are throwing something stable over the water, getting into this open green, and then pitching up their second shot in between these two trees, possibly pushing it a couple extra feet, leaving an open shot to the basket that'll still leave them with a birdie putt. We know that you can try for the eagle if you go through the gap on your second shot, but you just don't see a lot of players going for it.
First up, Ohn Scoggins. Backhand hyzer off the tee. She lands short of the birdhouse, so from there she'll be laying up and playing for the birdie. There's a little birdhouse on the left, and that's a good visual. If you land about 50 feet past that, I'd say the majority of the players could go for eagle if they're feeling brave enough.
I think that's what's interesting about this hole is that the distance is eagleable for a lot of the field, but that gap just stares at you, and it is risky.
Madison gets some good distance on her tee shot. She could go for the eagle if she wanted. It's probably about 360 to the Pro Tour painted sign on the grass for her.
Holyn's one of the players I would expect to go for the eagle. And with
Good
that drive...
distance. Oh, look how far past the
she's gotta do
birdhouse
it.
she is. I mean, that's gotta be 120 feet past the birdhouse. So from here, Ohn's looking to lay up anywhere but on the right side. That's a perfect position.
Oh, got a
Did you
little
see the
green
little
flag.
flag pop up? That was so cute.
Sarah with a nice approach.
You know, I don't like laying it up short anymore. I like to push past the first wall of trees.
Even if you
into
slide
the
a
dirt.
little bit
It's
into the
fine.
dirt,
There's so
you-
much space to work with.
Yeah.
As long as you don't throw a premium plastic disc full power.
That's
and
true.
Skittle down there, you should be
All right.
good.
Where is Holyn?
Okay, Madison lays up, but now we've got
Oh, she's
Holyn.
doing it.
Longest drive, and she's got another driver in her hand. She's going across. She's hit the gap.
Oh, she
It's working
juiced
back.
it.
Oh, it's going long. Ooh. Looks like
Okay.
a 40-foot putt for the eagle. Holyn Handley. Ohn, the most supportive card mate. Love playing with her. All right, this is Hokom's third shot after laying up to play for the birdie.
That messed with my eyes.
She cranked that over a little bit. That's a 50-foot birdie putt. It's not out of her range.
No, and she's safe there, but I think sometimes people forget that there is an OB line on that
There
left
is.
side. And
I
unless you
forget
get
that.
close to it, you forget that it's there.
Ohn's forehand upshot is in the circle, putting for birdie. And Madison's upshot landed in a great position as well.
She will also be inside the circle.
Holyn Handley putting for eagle and everyone else putting for birdie. First up, Hokom from 50 to 55.
Oh, gives it the height.
Holyn Handley for eagle. It's
Yes.
in. An eagle.
She even got a high five from the leaf.
Yeah, in the face. It's the best kind. Face five.
If I was there, that's what I would have done to her. So
Oh, man.
nice
That's
little
awesome.
face five.
Ohn Scoggins for birdie. It's in.
Beautiful putt. Well done.
Walker for birdie. Walker's back, baby. We already forgot about that triple and that bogey. We're in Birdieville now. Hokom in for par.
And this did play as the easiest hole today. So
Did it?
yeah.
It's the first day I birdied it.
So proud of you.
Thanks. Holyn Handley with the eagle. That was fun to watch. You should probably rewind it and watch it again. Let's check out hole 5, a par 3, 334 feet. It's only 334, so you feel like you should be parking it and dropping in a birdie, but that's not the case at all. If you do try to park it, it's likely that you could skip out of bounds in the water on the left, but this grass is catchier than previous years. I see people looking like they're going to skip out of bounds, and then voila, they're not. They're safe putting for birdie.
Yeah. And on the same side, if
Yeah.
you try and play the wide hyzer, you
Yes.
expect it to skip toward the basket. And then you've got 50 feet up the hill.
The most common route, I'd say, is pulling it towards that sidewalk and letting the disc fall down towards the basket, just like this. And you see
And
that
then
grass
sticky
is
grass.
so sticky. Holly's
But you
got
know,
a birdie putt, but does
you know
she-
the one time you expect it to stick, it's not going to.
That's exactly how it works. We saw Ohn birdie the hole yesterday with the same type of shot, but she didn't have the same aggressive angle today as she did yesterday.
No.
I love Ohn. She's always saying hello to the spectators and thanking folks for coming out.
Well, that's looking nice.
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay.
45-foot birdie putt for Madison Walker. Ooh, aggressive
There we
angle.
go.
Oh, it's going
Oh,
towards the
whoa.
drink. It's too aggressive. It's out of bounds for Sarah Hokom. She went with that super nose down flex forehand angle, which Ohn actually almost parked the hole with yesterday, but Sarah's disc did not work back. So now she is throwing 3, looking to save a bogey.
A good approach there from Sarah. Oh, not taking any chances, laying up to get her par.
You don't see that very often from Ohn.
No.
She likes to run almost everything.
Holyn with that upper hill approach, which can be really tricky, and I think your best choice is to try and hit it into the base.
And did you see all those smart plays?
I'm very proud of everybody.
That
Disc
was-
golf IQ is just through the roof today.
What smart, conservative, wise golf they played.
Those are always the ones where I don't want to do it. And as soon as I do, I'm glad, but I also, it
hurts,
feels
though.
weird.
It hurts me.
It does.
Only 3 birdies all day on hole 5.
$555 feet. This par 4 for hole 6 really just stares at you from the tee pad. You either want to throw a sidearm that kind of ends you by hitting the hill, or the more preferable in my point of view is the backhand turnover, because you can get it to flex, ride the hill, and land by that large tree. The risk with that, if you don't give it enough turn, the entire left side of the fairway is out of bounds. So you want to get your second shot probably pitched up short of the creek and then have a long putt for birdie.
After an eagle from 2 holes ago, Holyn Handley up first. Forehand off the tee.
She made a little sound right as she released it. Not quite what she wanted.
It was some extra roll.
What?
Extra roll to out of bounds. I thought she was just getting some distance.
Sounds like she wanted it to roll a bit and then she said, careful what you wish for. I feel like you don't see the... Oh gosh, how's it going to happen again? You don't see that kind of roll off of the forehand as often.
No, Ohn's forehand flex is safe, but up high on the right side. And Madison Walker throws hers close to the out of bounds, low left.
She'll still have quite a bit of distance for that approach. Sarah executing hers well. Not a spot you find yourself in often on this hole.
This could be tricky to get up there for a birdie putt. Madison's kind of pinched off.
Beautiful shot, though.
Yes, it is. She made it to the large tree where you hope to land on the most perfect drive. Ohn sending her rock 3 into the gap, but she misses it, and she is short of that big tree. She'll have to play for par. Ooh. And Hokom could have easily gotten to the green, but
Yes.
she's playing on that safe side where you just land short and give yourself a putt.
After going OB with that crazy roll, Holyn is still making the smart choice and laying up instead of trying to cover that distance.
Ohn clips some trees on her way to the green, and she'll have a hefty par putt.
Madison laying up short. Holyn not really giving that putt enough juice.
Ohn, par save from 50. Yeah, we're gonna need a run back for that
Oh, I
one.
love that. Just a little excitement there.
Walker to save par.
Oh,
She hits the band.
bandito.
Hokom off the top hat for her birdie look.
And the par for Hokom.
Holyn Handley will take a bogey after going out of bounds on her tee shot. Walker in for bogey. And right now, Ohn Scoggins is the only player under par on this card. And there were only 4 birdies on the day on that hole. Let's check out hole 7. Ooh, this is one of my favorites. 400-foot par 4 uphill turnover backhand tee shot. Now, forehand players will have an advantage here. They can actually just punch it right into that dirt and skip way up there, which is not fair at all. The backhand turnover shot's a really good one, could land about here. That'll leave you with 200 feet into the green, but it is a tight tunnel to get all the way up here. I would like to see some 3s here, but par feels great. Ohn Scoggins up first. A lot of space under her forehand, and she's landed high on that left side, which could be a tricky upshot.
That's one of the further forehands I've actually seen.
I agree.
All right.
Perfect positioning from Sarah Hokom right on that dirt path.
2 in a row. Holyn with the low. Oh.
Another roll. At least
That's
it
safe.
kept her in bounds this time.
Yeesh. That tree does block a lot of shots.
Walker forehand off the tee. Hitting the main gap. Scooting up there with Sarah Hokom. Perfect positioning.
Wow. I feel like Holyn got a little bit of raw end of the deal there on all those forehands.
Yeah, and Holyn's got all the skills to try something greedy and get really far, but why would you?
Yeah.
It's smarter just to pitch up to the perfect positioning and have an open look directly at the basket. And from there, she can play for par.
And she will. Well done.
That's smart golf if I've ever seen it. Walker in position to go for birdie.
That's a great shot. This hole, I feel like, you can so easily chop it into these 3 little pieces, but it can get out of hand so fast.
Ooh.
Oh, good. I thought I was about to jinx her. That was not on purpose.
Hokom shaves the edge of the tree, but she's up there putting for birdie. And you can see Ohn pinched off. Now, she can still get to the green. She's got all of that fast, skippy flare business going on.
Pulls it a little wide and catches a tree.
She'll have to work for par now. Ohn's third shot.
Oh, it doesn't look like she had to work too hard.
Nah. Some of us would have had to think about that a little bit longer than Ohn did. Hokom for birdie.
Oh, gives it a good bid. Catches cage and luckily sits flat.
Holyn pitched out to play the hole for par. Let's see if the smart golf pays off, and it does.
Well done by Holyn. Madison with another birdie.
Ohn Scoggins in for par here on the 7th, as well as Sarah Hokom. And so far, Ohn Scoggins is bogey-free and the only player under par. Holyn Handley with a bit of up and down, sitting at even par.
Hole 8, par 5, 576 feet. Off the tee, you'll see this card. I predict a lot of the forehand flex. You want your shot to land somewhere around this tree that we just passed. If you want to get greedy, your second shot, you can go a little more aggressive and try and get over this hill. Leaves you with either a little forehand approach or maybe a backhand putter. But this is a tricky green, so you don't want to come in too fast or else you'll get stuck behind those bushes and have a tricky putt.
Madison Walker up first. Forehand flex off the tee. That was tight on the inside left. We'll have to wait and see how that turns out. It's kind of a blind landing zone. Sort of just send it up there to your aim point and hope for the best. Ohn Scoggins with a turnover forehand flex. Crowd's clapping, so I guess it's in a good spot. Oh, now this looks good.
That one looked really nice. Oh, it's still
Hokom.
off to the left.
Yeah, actually a little more left than you need. You really want to have a clean footing or run-up area for your second shot so you can get max distance to attack for birdie.
Holyn, the only one going with the backhand off the tee.
Madison's shot stuck in the left side rough, and she's opted
Wow.
for a forehand roller from the knee, and now she's in the landing zone you hope to be in off of your drive.
Holyn in good position from her drive to be aggressive.
Oh no!
Oh. Dang. Where she was is I consider one of the most ideal positions. and you have that left fairway to shoot all the way up.
Scoggins.
yeah.
Yeah,
She
perfect
just did
shot.
it.
That's exactly what you're looking for.
Oh, it looks like she got a little tripped up there
That
when
was
she
so
threw.
lucky. That was so lucky. If she was stuck behind those bushes on the left side, it probably would have been another pitch out. All right, this is Holyn's third shot.
There we go.
Yeah, she's crested the hill. And she is down there looking at a putt.
Ooh, be stable.
Hokom's third shot is landed a little far away, and that's a downhill putt with a fast green. It's a 45-foot birdie look.
Yeah.
Are you going for that putt?
No. Maybe. It would be a soft bit because I'd want to go for it, but it'd have to be more of like that elevator putt style where if you miss,
Like
it's
she
just,
has.
Yeah.
Not like I have.
Yeah. I don't know. Today you were cashing those though, so I would have said go for it.
Ohn Scoggins opting for a standstill forehand.
Playing the fast ground.
Yeah, she's up there putting. That was good.
Like seeing the card in good spirits. Madison, not even taking a second to think about it, she knew she was going to lay up. Sometimes it's that easy, and I love it.
From 45 feet,
Do
Handley
it. Oh,
off the front of the cage. This is Hokom's birdie look.
I'm curious what she actually has in front of her with the trees. If it's more of a flex.
Oh, look how that died right by the basket.
So nice.
What a forgiving putt. Ohn Scoggins in for birdie. Perfectly played from Ohn.
And a bogey for Madison.
Holyn in for par. Hokom in for par as well. And if you see Hokom's hat, it's got the H. That's her custom logo. And if you ever see her at any of the players' parties vending, you can actually buy those directly from Sarah Hokom.
Nice.
Ohn Scoggins still the only player under par.
Swedish Open champion, Holyn Handley.
Here we are, hole 9. A shorty coming in at only 258 feet, a par 3, slightly downhill, backhand turnover, preferably for me, putter off the tee. I see a lot of forehanded players try, but I have only seen one successful forehand shot all weekend on this hole, so I'm saying that the backhand is preferred in my opinion. You can also just throw a little bit of a hyzer flip up and get yourself in the circle and have a long putt. This is a fast green, so if you're not in ideal position, you might want to lay up for safety. Standstill forehand from Ohn. That's the best forehand I've seen here all weekend.
I think she... do you think that's better than Macy's? It's tough. It would be up there, though. Top 3.
Top 3, yeah, top 3. I'll give it that.
Oh, Sarah getting kind of lucky over on that right side. She might be a little obstructed with the putt, but being pin high... Ooh, so nice.
Holyn does not hit the gap, and she lands short about halfway down the fairway on the right side. Walker going with the forehand, a higher line similar to Hokom's, and it's moving over to the right side. And look at that! The trees trickle her down, and she is right outside the bullseye.
I will say, with the forehand, I do like that if you play it to almost hit the tree. Like, as your plan, they always knock you down right around the circle.
I call that the Kevin Jones. I watched him, for a season, and he will often throw his upshots and crash into the trees around the basket and just let it fall down.
Ooh.
Hokom gives it a birdie bid, but she was from the knee, kind of far and in the bushes. Ohn Scoggins for birdie. It's in.
Little bit right side. You can see she's happy that that stayed.
2 birdies in a row for Ohn. Walker for birdie. From 20 feet.
Great putt. Good job, Madison. Holyn to save par. And she connects.
And I don't believe the camera's doing justice just how downsloped
The
this green
steep,
is.
yeah.
Yes. If you land up here on the high side from this angle, a lot of times the putt just isn't worth going for.
That's going to wrap up our front 9. Ohn still the only player under par.
I'd say the most exciting storyline of this front 9 is obviously Ohn under par, but Holyn's eagle!
Yes.
I've been waiting all weekend to see an eagle. I thought Ella was going to give us one, several of them on day 1.
Yeah. I think Holyn had an eagle on 16 yesterday.
Ohn?
I think Holyn did it.
Holyn?
Or at least she went for it.
Man, we appreciate you guys tuning in to this Front 9 Final Day coverage of the Idlewild. If you would like to support me, Holly Finley, you can head on over to pharmacbd.com and use code HOLLY for 20% off all CBD products.
And I have some discs on dynamicdisc.com, and feel free to follow me on Instagram at rklein55. Thanks for watching.